Hello everyone. So I've been talking about growing quite a lot recently, and one of the things when it comes to growing is not everyone has space to grow. Now we've got a windowsill here filled with loads of stuff. We've got thyme, we've got basil, we've got chilies. Look at these flowering already. We've got tea tree, lots of stuff here, aloe. So this is one way that you can grow if you can't grow outside, is you can have a windowsill. But this, what I'm about to show you, is another way that you can start to get a living, amazing, dense nutrition into your body without having to have a garden, without having to have that space. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some sprouting. Okay, so we've got red clover seeds here. You can buy lots of different seeds, mung beans, you can sprout lentils, you can sprout quinoa, loads of stuff. But I'm going to show you how to do these because these are really nice and simple. Now what I have here, this is a sprouting tray. You can buy these online, you can get them in a lot of health food shops. You don't have to use this. You can do this in a jar if you want. This does make it easier because what's amazing about this is it's got little drainage things. So it's a really simple way to grow. Okay, so how do you sprout? Well, the first step of sprouting is you sprinkle your seeds like so into the sprouting tray. Now you don't want to overfill it. We've got 2 trays in here, so we're going to do 2 levels of these lovely guys because it gives them room to grow and expand, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to grow and expand, which is the amazing part of it. Now, what does a seed need to grow? It needs water to activate that seed. So we're going to pour, this is filtered water, into here. We want to fill it up so that they've got a really good coating of water. Now the great thing with a sprouting tray is that water will slowly drip through to the very bottom, so it's filtering through, but in the process what's happening is that it's activating those seeds. If you don't have a tray like this, get a jar, place the seeds in a jar, fill it with water and leave it to soak for 6 hours. That's the first step of how to sprout your seeds. So we have soaked these overnight. You can see in the bottom, we've got the water that's drained through from those soaking. Now, one of the important things when you're sprouting is you have to rinse your sprouts twice a day to keep them nice and fresh and clean. Now, I said you can also put them in a jar and do it this way. So I'm going to show you this method. We put these in a jar and we soak them overnight. It can be 6, 8, 10 hours. It doesn't really matter, but overnight is the easy way to do it. So what we're going to do with this is we're just going to use the lid as a strainer. And we're just going to strain that water away like so. And then we're going to leave this with the lid not screwed on fully, but just like that. So this is just going to sit on the windowsill so it can get light, and I'm going to rinse that twice a day. Now, with these, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give them a nice rinse. Now, as you notice, I'm using a filter. We're not using tap water, we're using filtered water, and this is really important because you don't want to be doing sprouts and get all that living, amazing goodness and then use tap water that's filled with chlorine and other things. So we want to charge up and energize our water. The other thing you can do is charge them up with things like this. This is implosion research device. It's a copper spiral that's going to charge and vibe up the water. So we could always put that next to it to vibe up our sprouts. So they're going to be super powered. But don't worry if you don't have one of those. Good clean water when you're doing your sprouts. So what's going to happen here is this water is going to drain through, and we're going to rinse these off twice a day. And what you'll see is very soon the sprouts will start to come. I'm going to show you another video when you start to see them emerging, because that's really exciting too. So 5 days on with the sprouts, and let's have a look. Look at that. Don't they look beautiful? So the sprouts are doing really well. Let's have a look at the jar and see how that's doing. We've had 5 days where we've rinsed them twice a day. There we go. We've got a lovely jar full of sprouts. So these are now ready. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them into a bowl and stick them in the fridge and then eat them. So 5 days rinsing twice a day. You soak them initially as we showed you, and then you get beautiful sprouts that you can eat. I hope you've enjoyed watching how to make lovely, delicious sprouts.